stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here... I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Give me Sean. The real Sean. Right now!
I know. I know. You've gone to such lengths to find him.
Just... help me understand what's going on here.
I promised answers, and answers you shall have. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. I am your son.
It's really you? After all this time?
Yes. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the...
It wasn't right, what they did. Taking you from me like that.
To you, that would certainly seem true. But to the Institute, it made all the sense in the world. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being, walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you.
In a manner of speaking, yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. Even... I was...
Sure.
I am their father.
Sean.
It really is. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us. I hope you're not too overwhelmed. This really is a matter of importance. Are you following?
It doesn't matter what they think. What matters is what you do.
I'm glad we see it the same way. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. What else can I say to to ease your mind.
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades at the Institute. It's important.
Sure. It doesn't matter what they think. What matters is what you do.
I'm glad we see it the same way. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has just... what else can...
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Collateral damage? Is that all she was to you?
I forget that it's been such a short time for you. I don't have any direct memories. And I've had my entire life to cope with the loss. Has it always been easy? Of course not. But I've done my best to move on and live my life. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
I think I've heard enough for now.
Very well. The Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
Yes, that's what I want.
I know. I know you've been through so much. Forgive me. I'd assume that after... there is much to be...
I'll do whatever it takes. It's worth it.
I am glad to hear that. The Institute is now your home. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. And finally, Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Me?
almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month.
Doctor.
Oh,
They weren't kidding.
I don't know.
You really are
Most
here.
of them have lasted
Well, all
long
right.
past their projected
I'm
lifespans.
Allie
If you
Fillmore.
ask me,
You can think of
They
me
were
as the
built pretty
Institute's
well.
chief engine. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the facilities division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
Absolutely.
Oh, good to hear. It'll be a load off Sean's mind. If there's anything else you...
I'm good for now. Thanks.
Goodbye, then. Well, I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
there we go.
Isn't it
All
wonderful
set.
here?
Unit, you can return to duty.
Thanks again.
Of course. We're all looking forward to working with you.
Scanning. Subject identified. Nothing to report, sir.
It's an honor to have you here, sir. No visible reaction.
Reporting status. All functions normal.
The dosage will be much larger.
You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he?
Welcome
Well,
to
you can
the
tell him
Institute,
that I
sir.
intend to speak to Father about these unannounced...
Scanning unknown identity.
Seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock
Dr.
some heads
Watson
together.
can be
Glad you
a
made
little
it.
obsessive
They're
when it
dragging their
comes to
feet on the
rules and
targeting
policies.
package upgrades I asked for. Maybe I should take some courses with me. Send a message.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Please
So,
don't. There's enough
here you
friction
are.
as it is between
Justin Ayo,
us and pretty
acting
much
director
all the
of
other
the Synth
departments.
Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping... You're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider. The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation, so it's nothing personal. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the synth retention. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
I'm sure it's best for everyone if the synths remain here.
Certainly. We can't allow sophisticated The results could be... Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained... But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
I'm no stranger to combat.
Even so, a Courser should be more than a match for any single combatant. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back.
I'm good for now. Thanks.
Very well.
Report anything suspicious to the SRB. Carry on, sir.
Mankind redefined. It's catchy, isn't it?
operating at full capacity.
You can return to your duties, and remember to record every symptom you experience in detail.
I hope I'll prove a useful test subject for the doctor.
Your presence here is a great gift.
Hi.
Not just to Father, but to all of us.
Remember to keep unnecessary power consumption to a minimum.
All maintenance
Don't
requests
recharge
should be
unless
directed
your
to the
primary
facilities
levels
division.
are below 2%. Also, if you haven't patched your navigation software, do so after this meeting. The last thing we need is more synths bumping into walls. All right, that's all for now.
Hello.
Have you had time to examine my latest reports on batch 274?
Not yet. I've been reviewing.
Hi, Doc.
I wonder how the
Welcome.
Warwick family is
So
doing.
good to have you here.
Young
Dr.
Wally must
Clayton
be close to
Holdren,
10 years old by
head of the
now.
bio. I can't
Remarkable
wait for you.
that any child can survive.
I look forward to learning more about it.
In that case, let me. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of study such as botany, genetics, and medicine. To that end, we've even started. You probably saw the gorillas.
Seems like there's nothing you guys can't do.
With hard work and ingenuity, any challenge can be overcome. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is, but I have to.
Sure. I'm not sure how well I'll fit in.
Great. In any case,
I'm good for now. Thanks.
take care then. Is it true food supplement 77 has been discontinued?
That is correct.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Dr. Lee.
Oh, it's you.
She's just doing it for
You're not authorized to be here.
Actually, I was looking for you.
Where are you going? I thought you wanted to talk.
Excuse me, Dr. Lee?
Oh, it's you. You're not authorized to be here.
I wasn't aware that I needed authorization.
Father may have given you the keys to the castle, but this is still my laboratory. If you plan to stay down here with us...
Uh-huh. Easy. I just want to talk.
About what? You're obviously here for a reason.
I've been sent by the Brotherhood of Steel to find you.
You don't beat around the bush, I'll give you that. I knew it was just a matter of time before your people would track me down. I've been looking over my...
If I wanted to kill you, we wouldn't be talking.
That's a fair point. Since Father trusts you, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I might not agree with everything he said. Say what you came here to say.
Are you happy here?
You'd think, being surrounded by cutting-edge laboratory equipment and some of the greatest... Only problem is, what does that have to do?
The Brotherhood needs your help, Doctor.
Needs my help. Why? They seem to have everything.
Uh-huh. Did you abandon any projects you wanted to complete?
You should know better than to ask me that.
Right.
If they didn't tell you what I was, I'm certainly not going to. Tell me something. Why would I possibly want to come crawling back to the Brotherhood? What reason would I?
Sure. Father trusts me, and so should you.
He trusts you because you're family.
The Brotherhood has always been straight with you.
I am getting a bit tired of. Sometimes I feel like, but still.
Your work could be instrumental in freeing the Commonwealth.
You really know how to push my buttons, don't you? You know, I never understood why the Institute. All those innocent people. Yet we hide down here, and it's not right. I'll make my way back to the Brotherhood. Assassin Lee. Now, for the sake of keeping up appearances, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
Thank you. I'm sure that'll come in handy.
Given that the relay, in case the significant, if nothing else, it should demonstrate. Speaking of,
Dr. Lee.
I'll be along soon.
It's really exciting having you here. I can't wait to see what you can do. Here we go again.
We're not violating any protocols. We're well within approved operating parameters. I checked.
Bye.
All systems nominal. Greetings, sir. Reporting status. All functions normal.
When are you going to tell me about this?
It must make you proud to see all that Father has done, all that he has built.
I wish you could have known Father as we have.
When the lights go down and the stars come out, man just forgets about all his troubles.
Do we really need all these coursers roaming the halls?
Now that you've had a chance to see the Institute.
You've got technology here that I never dreamed possible. It's amazing.
I'm glad you can appreciate what we've... Ultimately, unfortunately, no advancement comes without occasional setbacks. As remarkable as our synths are, they can be dangerous without proper supervision. The superior synth mind and body attempting to wrestle with something approaching free will can be a recipe for chaos.
If the synths are intelligent and self-aware, then they have a right to free will.
However closely they may approximate human behavior, they are still our creations. When you see what I have to show you, I think you'll agree that we know what is best for our synths. A rogue synth has taken over the Raider gang at Libertalia. His memories have been erased, and his identity altered. He believes he's a man named Gabriel. Under his leadership, the Raiders have taken many innocent lives. I've dispatched...
We'll bring that synth home.
That would be best. Now you should get moving.
Sure.
Our technology must seem pretty advanced by your standards.
We're about to get a new food supplement.
I've heard stories. The surface sure sounds scary.
Dr. Watson can be a little obsessive when it comes to rules and policies.
I received word that Dr. Lee is returning to us. How cooperative do you think she'll be?
I've convinced her that the Institute is the enemy, not the Brotherhood.
Well done, Knight. As soon as Dr. Lee arrives, we'll interrogate her aboard the Prydwen. She's been under the Institute's influence for the last decade, and we can't afford to take any chances. Now, I believe you still possess an important piece of data that Proctor Ingram is eagerly awaiting. I want you to bring it to her immediately. Once again, Knight, you don't fail to impress. Dismissed.
Here's your holotape, Proctor. Hope the data on that thing was worth it.
Thanks. You know, it's good to see you're still in one piece. I wasn't sure what the Interceptor would do to you.
I wasn't worried. After all, I built the device myself.
I have confidence in everything I build, too. But that's because I'll only deal with technology that I understand. Speaking, that would be the best-case scenario. Before we jump to conclusions, let's see what Quinlan's scribes can get off of it. I'm sure the Institute has all of their data heavily encrypted. After that, we'll have to see what we've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe. In the meantime, I've got a new assignment for you. So, I bet you're eager to get your hands dirty on our new project. How much has Maxon told you about it?
Whatever it is, I'm sure it'll help us crush the Institute.
It will, but we've got a lot of work ahead of us first. Come on, it's this way. Unless you're blind as a bat, I'm sure you've noticed that we've been building a gantry on the tarmac. Maxon and Kells have been looking for something that'll tip the balance when we go toe-to-toe with the Institute. Now, the Prydwen might be a big beast, but she's not built for fighting. That's where our new project comes in. This storage bay full of parts is what's left of Liberty Prime. The Brotherhood used it in the Capital Wasteland as a weapon against the Enclave. It's the most advanced robot the Brotherhood has ever had at its disposal. Unfortunately, Liberty Prime was destroyed in the line of duty. I've spent the better part of the last few years piecing him back together. And if you think that was easy, try rebuilding a Protectron while you're blindfolded. In order to get Liberty Prime fully operational, we're going to need your help.
No problem. I'm sure this only looks worse than it actually is.
Huh. I wish I had your confidence, because this is not going to be easy. Now, the good news is that we've got most of Prime's parts fully assembled. The bad news is that it's gonna take more than a few rivets and some spot welding to get them working again. The first problem is his CPU. It's fragile, and every time we try to feed power to it, it blows.
There's gotta be a way to solve that.
I do all the maintenance on the as much as I... Luckily, you were able to convince Dr. Madison Lee to return to the... She was on the original build team for Liberty Prime a little over a decade ago. I've already spoken to her, but she's reluctant to work on Prime for some reason. If you could get her down here to lend a hand with his power system...
was that? Cut!
Attention, this is a reminder. Any recovered historical, technological, or social documentation should be delivered directly to Proctor Quinlan. That is all.
For laser weapons myself. It's a cleaner shot. That memorable ozone smell behind.
If you're here to talk me into working on Liberty Prime, you can forget it.
You promised you'd help us.
You're right, I did. But you neglected to mention that I'd be asked to work on Liberty Prime. I've been down this road with the Brotherhood before. Why would I make the same mistake twice?
Because we care what happens to the Commonwealth.
Yeah. Nothing says you care more than building a huge robot to get your point across.
You know, if anyone else wearing a Brotherhood of Steel uniform said something like that, I'd laugh in their face. But coming from you, it sounds like you tell Proctor Ingram to get her scribes ready. It's going to take a hell of a lot of work to get Liberty.
When it comes to keeping the Prydwen running, Proctor Ingram's the best.
Hey,
What's on your mind?
I need you to get out of your power armor.
You got it?